next tonight, cannabis could be used as an effective treatment for some forms of cancer. Researchers at St George's University of London say the drug can have a dramatic effect when used alongside traditional radiotherapy. The technique was used to treat brain cancer, and in some cases the growth virtually disappeared. The condition is difficult to treat and claims around 5,200 lives every year, and currently the rate of survival is around 10%. Well, joining me now is Dr. Wylell from St George's University of London. Dr. Dill, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us. Now, we've heard before cannabis being used in some specific circumstances for medicinal purposes, but this is very different, isn't it? Just explain a bit about the science behind it.
Sure thing. So everyone's heard of cannabis, the plant. Everyone has heard the recreational drug. What we've actually done is that we've isolated certain chemicals in cannabis plants, and these are known as cannabinoids. And the two main ones are known as THC and CBD. And what we've done is to use these two drugs in combination with irradiation, and shown you get a much better response if you were to use these three together.
And you've tested this on rats, essentially, lab rats. And why brain cancer specifically?
That's a good question. So what we know is that there's certain proteins on the surface of brain cells to which these cannabinoids bind. And we know that because people take it and the psychoactivity works through these various same proteins. So our ethos, our hypothesis is that if we were to use these cannabinoids to target brain cells which are rich in these proteins, you get a much better response, and brain cancers would be one such cell.
I mean, how significant are we talking here? This is a pretty big discovery.
It's big. The effects of cannabinoids on cancer has been known for some time, but I suppose the big thing about the latest research is this whole idea that you can combine these cannabinoids with irradiation to get a situation where cancer virtually disappears, and that's something that excites us the most.
I mean, when you've done the test so far on these rats, how is the cannabis, or this particular chemical, how is it administered?
Yeah, so these cannabinoids are administered via an injection. So they're injected into these mice, and it's allowed to go into the bloodstream. And as it travels through the bloodstream, it can target these cancer cells directly in the brain because of these proteins found on the surface, and have an effect.
Now, like we said, we've only tested this on lab mice, lab rats, but how close or how far away are we from human trials? We can see if it actually does make a difference.
Of course, that's the most important thing. And one thing I would say is that this THC and CBD is already licensed in a preparation called Sativex, and currently there's an ongoing trial testing the safety of this particular agent by GW Pharmaceuticals, testing it in patients with certain forms of brain cancer. And hopefully the results of those studies will come to fruition, and we'll know much more whether or not it does work and it's safe to use. This
is all happening at your university in London, St George's.
St George's, yes.
I'm guessing it takes quite a bit of funding, though. Are you looking for more funding to continue this research?
I'm not here to ask for funding, but if there's funding going. But no, of course, there's always an issue with funding and research, and if we can secure more funding, of course, things can be done much quicker. We hear people who have access to extra money and who can progress clinical trials much more quickly. And that's something that we're always looking for, but it's not something that we're considering at the moment, because what excites us the most is the fact that these cannabinoids, these agents that are distinct from cannabis, I've got to stress that, has an anti-cancer effect, and it works well if you combine it with radiation.
Well, this is really good news. Thank you so much, Dr. Wylell, for joining me this evening. Thank you.